Oh, hello guys. I wanted to start making a couple of tutorials for y'all on how to videos for point imports and alignments and profiles and surfaces for right now. Tony is also going to be helping making some other videos to help you guys get along with everything being all online now. Hopefully we can do as much as we can to help. Um, Also remember, if you haven't done it yet, remember to go and get on Discord. We're going to try to have class from time to time on there, and especially you'll be able to contact us, me and Tony or Willis or any of the teachers. You'll be able to contact them easily through Discord if you've got a decent internet connection and a computer at home. So hopefully everyone's doing okay, and let's get started. I'm going to start just, it doesn't matter, start with the simple template. Let's see. Let me go in here to a job I did. This is a job I did down in Midland. That's irrelevant right now, but it's just easier for me to bring this open and bring the points in and show you guys how to do this. And I'm going to break these videos up into short ones so that you guys don't get bored of listening to me talking. Um, okay, so here we got a clean drawing. The number one thing you need to do first is make sure that you're set to a points layer, because whatever layer you're on, the points are going to come on that layer. Second thing, you want to check your coordinate system. Um, this particular job is in Midland, so it's going to be central zone. And going back to the basics of civil, over here there's this tool space, and that tool space is almost like a brain for civil. It'll control everything within that drawing. And so when you turn it on, it's going to look something like this. And so, sorry. Okay. So right here, prospect, that's going to be all the objects that are in your drawing, point groups, points, surfaces, alignments, everything that it has. Settings are going to be all the settings for the drawing for that same stuff. You've got label styles in here. You'll have point styles, surfaces, all this stuff is in this. And I'll go over this more and more as I go through each tutorial. But for right now, let's check the settings. So you want to check your, when you hit settings, let me do that again. When you go to tool space, you're under settings. God, I don't know why it's doing this. You right click on the name and say edit drawing settings. Here, you'll set your state, your zone, and make sure this stuff is unchecked. And then hit apply. Okay, now your coordinate system is set. So to bring in points, you'll go up here to the points pull down and then go to import points right here. Now you have three different boxes that are going to be used. The first one is where you're going to select your files from. The second one is the point format. And the third one is the preview. And then you also have, if you want to add them to a point group, you can do that as well. And make sure this stuff is all unchecked. So let's go grab a point file here. And those file formats are usually a CSV or a text file. I usually just use this Autodesk uploadable because it's supposed to automatically correlate to the right format on its own, I believe. But if you want to get technical and do specific one, you would go down here where it's point number, northing, easting, elevation, description, And watch what happens if you use a different one. You see how it moved everything around? Well, it won't come in right with civil. So um, that's it. Now you hit OK. Points are brought in. You don't see them, so do a zoom extents. And there's your points. These are pipeline centerline shots for this particular job. And you'll see how they are on the points layer that I had it on. Also, within a point, you have a couple of controls here. This top node, if you click it, you can drag the point out. You can even put leaders on them if you want. If you move the second node right here, that actually will move the coordinate and elevation. So you want to try to refrain from doing that. If it's too big, to make them smaller, all you do, remember these are all annotative, so if you hit this scale right here, it'll make them super small, and then that way you can kind of read a condensed area. And then that's it. Now you're going to connect your dots. These are all nodes that are here, so you want to make sure on your O snap you just turn node on, and now you can just go and start hitting your nodes of whatever it is. That's not the right connection, but if I was going to do the pipeline, something like this. So, and if you go, after you brought the points in, if you go over here, hit prospect, hit points, you can see them all. This stuff, if you want to rearrange the order, you can move it around. And it gives you all the information about the point. So that's it for point imports. Go up here, drop down points, import. You can also export points here as well. But that's it. And then I'll continue, like I said, I'll continue to make more videos throughout the day probably, because I want to have all these done. At least the 3 that we're going to work on the Apache pipeline for. All right, thanks.